New business. At any time of the year, you can just call them up and say, listen, you know, Vlad, I just wanted to give you a quick call today. You have been on my mind because I was actually reflecting back on my business over the last couple of years, and I realized that some of my favorite clients that I've gotten to work with have been referrals from you. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate your willingness to refer me business. And it means the world to me. And I'm not sure I've thanked you well enough over the years, so thank you. And as you know, I'm going to treat any future referrals like gold. So, like, you're just really giving gratitude. I do that script, by the way, every year at Thanksgiving, whether they have referred me business or not. So if they haven't referred me business, it's something like, hey, Pete, just wanted to give you a call, and I just wanted to really thank you, like in the spirit of Thanksgiving, you know, this time of year. I know you've said in the past that you'd be willing to refer me business, and I've just been reflecting on that, and it means so much to me that I have so many people like you who are willing to refer me business in the future if they hear of someone. Now, Pete hasn't referred me into business. Am I using a little bit of guilt here?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
And that's okay. Okay? Like, my 6-year-old used it on me this morning because I was at coaching skills camp. I didn't get home till late, like 11 o'clock last night. And this morning he's like, are you driving me to camp? I'm like, no, your brother is. So he's an 18-year-old and 6-year-old. I'm like, no, your brother is. And he's like, but Mommy, you haven't seen me in 3 days. I was like, oh, he's using it on me. I was like, no, still your brother is. I gotta go lead gen. So I said, unless you can lead gen for me, he's like, okay, Connor will take me. So it's a little bit of guilt, and I'm okay with that. Okay? You know, so because I'm giving throughout the year, so, and there's just a small amount. Now, how to organize it. The emails. Emails you're going to use through eEdge. However, I'm going to shift what system you use, and I'll explain why. The reason why I think one of the reasons why agents aren't using a true 33-touch is they upload it into eEdge, they put it on a 33-touch campaign, and then they're like, I'm using a 33-touch, there's nothing else I have to do. Okay? A true 33-touch, that's the emails, and they tell you reminders of when to call and when to mail. However, I have found most agents don't go check in and check on the reminders because it's a little clunky. The reminder section is a little clunky. The email section is great. The reminder section's a little clunky, it's a little slow. Especially if you're a fast-paced move person and you have to watch that circle, it's slow. Okay? So most people don't go in and check, and then they're like 6 months into the year, I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't gone my database because I completely forgot to follow the 33-touch. Okay? So I'm going to change it. We also have, in our system, 12 direct emails. For the email portion of your 33-touch, you put your database into eEdge, and you put them on a 12 direct.
And then intersperse them with the phone calls and the...
I'm going to get there. Don't jump ahead. Just working on the emails. You put them on the 12 direct. They'll go out automatically. Honestly, folks, my first 2.5 years at Keller Williams, I did not adjust any single email in the 12 direct. I set it and forgot it. I didn't customize it. It wasn't until I hired my EA that we started to customize it. You don't need to customize it. They are perfectly fine and good without customizing it. So, like, honestly, and I'm going to be really, really direct here, and I hope I'm not going to be too direct for someone, is there are a lot of agents that I see in my market center, and it may not be the case here, that will spend hours and hours and hours trying to perfect an email campaign or their website or their Facebook campaign with the sole purpose to avoid lead generating and talking to people. Okay? Do not use that as an excuse to lead generate and to talk to people. Okay? The emails, what's that?
Passive prospecting.
It's what?
Passive prospecting.
It's passive prospecting.
I think it's creative avoidance.
Creative avoidance.
Just saying, like, I really do. Okay? You know, it's like my son, and I'm like, did you clean your room? No, I was reading a book. And I'm like, Okay, like, 'cause then I can't get mad for reading a book, but the room's still a mess. Okay, he's creative avoiding reading, you know. It's creative, I give him credit, and sometimes it works, because I'm like, okay, you read a book, whatever. Okay, sometimes it doesn't. All right, so set it and forget it. Okay? Now, the phone calls. I'm going to give you the easiest system on how to organize the phone calls. Go to your last page. This alphabet that I got off of Google. By the way, I did create avoidance once by finding this alphabet page. There's like 1,000 alphabet templates like this in Google. Like I think I was on there for 20 minutes. I was like, what am I doing? Who cares? It's an alphabet. Just pick one. I was like obsessing over it. So even I can get trapped in things like that as well. Okay. With your phone calls, if you want to talk to your people 4 times a year, you're going to talk to 2 letters of the alphabet a week. So you can do first names, you can last names, doesn't matter. Let's say you do last names. Anybody who has a last name that starts with A or a last name that B, you're calling them this week. Next week, you're calling your C's and your D's. The next week, E's and F's. You just take this piece of paper, or one you print off from Google, you put it on your desk, and you cross out, when you're done with the A's, you cross that out this week. And then you cross out your B's. You did your 2 letters. Next week, you cross out C and D, E and F. If you want to call them 6 times a year, 3 letters a week.
That's 4 times a year.
4 times a year is 2 letters a week. 6 times a year is 3 letters a week. It's so easy, yes.
Okay, and this might be one of those like really ridiculous questions.
No.
If you, okay, you're calling your A's and your B's, you've been playing phone tag with one of your A's all week, it gets to be the next week, do you keep trying to play phone tag with that person?
Are they calling me back?
I don't know, like it varies. Like
Okay, so with my database, if they don't call me back,
are you leaving,
I'm not
are you just leaving
recalling
messages? Okay.
okay, I know I'm calling them 6 times a year, so I'll get them eventually. I don't. When you're calling them 4 to 6 times a year, you don't worry about the people that you don't reach. They're hearing your message. Yes, you are leaving a message. They're hearing your message. You're reminding them, and you'll get them on the next time. Now, if you only call them once a year, yeah, you got to reach them. You only call them once a year, okay? Now, if they call you back, yes, you need to play phone tag until you reach them, or until they or you need to be the last person that reaches out to them. Like you can't let them be like, hey, Laura, I saw you called. Give me a call back, and then you don't call them back. Like you have to be the last person that leaves that.
So what's your voicemail?
Yeah, what do you say?
So
is your voicemail generic, or is it specifically say what you're
it
trying to call?
depends on the type of phone call. So we're gonna get to those. Right now, we're just doing the organization, and then we're going to get to what you say in each of these things. So if you just hold on to that, because we'll get to the messages. Was there a question over here?
Yeah, I was going to say, if your goal is 5,000 names and you actually hit that goal, so on average you're going to have about 200 names under each one of those letters. That means you're making about 400 calls a week. Is that
You're
possible?
probably not a single agent at that point.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Great question. You have a large team.
Right.
So that's how it's, like, that's when she shared, like, oh, we're looking to have 2,560 people in our database. You know, that's why I asked how many people are on your team.
Okay.
Okay? Great question, though. Yes?
For example, that's why Mel brought me on as an addendum to do basically what she couldn't. So
Yeah, absolutely.
at that point, kind of get someone like me who's looking for work.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so 2 letters a week. When you get to Z, you start back at an A. Like, it can't be any easier than this. This changed my life. It was Michael and Beverly. I think, well, we were in the same boat, or Vlad, we were in the same boat when she shared this. This changed my life about my database. It went from being a chaotic mess with my phone calls to so simple. So simple. As I said, none of these are my methods. I've just taken them from someone else. So simple. Okay? 2 letters a week. And if you have a team, you should be asking, what letters did you call this week? What letters did you call this week? You should be tracking this. Okay? This is key. Now, the handwritten notes, or not the handwritten notes, but the, let me get to the in-person events first. Okay? There is a reason I did it in this order. You want to do these 1 to 3 a year. It's really easy. If you're doing it if you're doing it twice a year, you just pick 2 different quarters. If you're doing it 3 times a year, pick 3 different quarters. You pick 1 event a quarter. And I will get into like what type they are. Okay? here's the really cool thing. If you do 3 events a year, guess what? 3 of the phone calls can be about inviting them to the event. It goes together really well. Okay? And we'll get more into that when we get into what to say, send, and do. Now, the direct mail. If you are new to the business and money is short, what I'm going to recommend to you initially is I told you the model is 12 to 14 mailings in the post, or direct mails, what we call them, a year. What I'm going to recommend to you is it's a handwritten note every time you call them. So if you're calling them 4 times a year, you're writing a handwritten note 4 times a year. If you're calling them 6 times a year, a handwritten note after every single phone call or message. If it's a message, the handwritten note is literally like, hey, Sally, it's Laura Strunk. Left you a message today. So sorry I couldn't reach you on the phone. Hope all is well, Laura Strunk. Just put it, if I reach them, hey, it's Laura Strunk. It was so great, or you don't even put that, hey, it was so nice talking to you. I loved hearing about this. Thank you for this, like whatever you talked about, and write a handwritten note. So every time you make a phone call, you write a handwritten note. Yes?
When these are 2 people that you've met at an open house or met once, what do you just say hi, just hope you're well? I mean, it seems like it's kind of not very transparent.
Well, I'm always following up with an open house with a call first.
Oh, yeah, I know, yeah.
And then it's literally, well, the first handwritten note would be, hey,
Thanks for coming to my open house.
it was so great meeting you at the open house. I
Right.
loved playing with your kids as you looked at the basement. As I said, I love being a resource for people. Please know I'm always here to be a resource for you.
Right, but then in follow-up phone calls.
Yeah. So I can't get into
And-
deep today in 8 by
Right.
8. So that's a whole different. You have to
Right.
add value basically. So hey, listen, I know we met at this open house. There's actually another home in the same zip code that I think might be interesting. Like you just have to add value.
Okay.
Okay. So and it's very that's a class in itself because
Could you say something like, I hope your search is going well, please call me if I can be of help to you, or is that,
you can.
I mean, is
I
that?
am always looking that I'm giving them something they don't have.
Right, but if you have to research a home for every single person you call, that's pretty time consuming.
How many open houses are you doing a weekend?
1 or 2.
Okay, so approximately how many people are you meeting?
Oh, it depends. I mean, people that don't have agents might be 4 or 5.
Okay. That's too much to research?
No, but I mean, you're building this whole group of people and you're contacting them,
Yeah,
one
but you
time.
can use
Pretty
statistics
soon
for
you've
the
got a
neighborhood.
database of 300.
You can do statistics to a database, a neighborhood. You
Okay.
can- I mean, it's
Okay.
easy, it takes 2 minutes.
Okay,
Okay?
Yep.
Don't get caught in the minutia, just find something quick and call them.
okay. Now I'm
Okay?
thinking more of the writing.
Right.
Okay.
On the writing, you can set up free-form letters for that. That's something I had a lot of success with before, because I had a pre-written out letter and I just had to add in the category for their name. And it's very generic, it's just basic, it was nice talking to you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking of the letters like 2 or 3 months down the road.
Right.
So a pre.
Well, now remember though, but hold on.
It's not-
Okay, wait, let me back up, stop. After 8 weeks, if they have not engaged with you, they're not on a 33 touch, they're only on a 12 direct.
Okay.
Okay, that's the model.
And the 12 direct is,
12 direct, don't look at the paper, because I'm using the 12 direct for a 32 direct, just look at me for a second, okay? A 12 direct is just 12 emails a year.
oh, okay.
That is used for non-Mets that you met once and you attempted to continue the relationship and they have not engaged.
Okay.
You're not gonna get rid of them, you're just gonna send them 12 emails a year.
Got it.
There are
And
people,
that could be your newsletter?
could be anything.
Okay.
Okay, yep. So, as I said, for brand new agents, or agents that don't have a significant amount of money right now, just send a handwritten note after every phone call. You can go to the dollar store and get packs of 10 for $1. They don't have to be branded, for my first years they were like sunshines and flowers and whatever, and I just threw my card in there. Like, don't stress about oh my gosh, it has to look like this. Okay, it still works if it doesn't look like that.
Just
Okay.
call and send a note.
What's that?
Call and send a note.
Yeah, remember, a true 33 touch is 12 to 14 emails, 4 to 6 phone calls, 12 to 14 direct mails, and 1 to 3 in-person events. That's a true 33 touch. Okay? Now, if you have some money to actually do some mailings, this is when you want to set up, okay, you're going to be doing your 4 to 6 handwritten notes. Okay, so that's 6 right there. We'll talk about the other types of things, like how you're going to organize that, but you're going to fill it in with other types of mailings, and we'll give you some ideas on that in a minute. Okay? So, is anybody confused on how to organize it?
Yes.
What's that?
Can you, I'm not trying to put all this together, it's like a lot going on at the
Okay.
time.
So you upload your database into your 12 Direct into eEdge. You set it and forget about it. You don't even have to worry about that anymore. Get that out of your head. You call people 4 to 6 times a year using this alphabet system. So the only thing you need to have in front of you is this, and every week you're crossing out 2 letters or 3 letters. And every time you talk to someone or leave a message, you write a handwritten note.
See.
And yes. Yes. And send it. Okay. And the 1 to 3 in-person events, you're scheduling throughout the year. You have to pre-plan those, so that's not something that's just going to creep up on you. You know when they're coming. Okay. Now, let's have you guys brainstorm here. And then I'm going to give you my ideas. Okay, but let's see how many you can get. So the first time I did this class was in Columbia, and I had like about 55 people in the room, and we ran out of papers, and someone copied my suggestions. So there's like one side of the room, and I was like, you guys are really smart, because you guys are picking out everything that I had. And then I looked over and they were reading right from my list. I was like, see, you're all just cheaters. So I don't think anybody has a list. I clipped it today, so you couldn't get out. All right, so the emails. Do you even have to worry about what to say in the emails? No, right on there, set it and forget it, 12 Direct. Set it and forget it, 12 Direct.
If you belong to something like Market Snapshot, would you change that out for those, or would you still do the 12 Direct?
Yeah, if you're using a different system than the Edge, then you just use them, 12 to 14 emails.
Yeah, I mean, they're not like verbal email, like word emails or like a market report once a month. Would that replace that?
I would not do every single email like that. Variety is the spice to life. I just would not spend time figuring that all out if you're not making your phone calls.
Phone calls are number 1.
Phone calls are number 1. So the coaching company that I coached with when I first started to learn this is they said, the phone calls are the jet fuel to this entire operation. Everything else is like having a plane in the airport with no fuel. Is that going anywhere? No. You need the jet fuel. So don't worry about like, oh, I'm going to take an email from here and an email from here and organize and da-da-da-da, if you're not making your phone calls. You get to do that once you've made your phone calls each and every day. Okay? Just set it and forget it. That's what I did for 2.5 years, and it worked. And I'd still be doing it today if I didn't have an EA. Okay? Phone calls. Okay, so you don't have to worry about what to do, what to say then. Okay, so what are the things that what type of phone calls could you be making? What could you be saying? What could you be doing in the phone calls? So you have your first qualifying script. That's going to be number 1. You have to do that script. After that, though, it's 2 months later. What are you going to call them on?
Why did you change it?
Could be birthday, anniversary.
Birthday anniversaries, the only thing you have to be really, really careful about birthday and anniversaries is another logistical piece that you have to organize.
Right.
It doesn't fall into the alphabet.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm not saying it's not a good thing, it absolutely is. It's just another piece to organize, like I have to get on Facebook, I have to look at the people's birthday, or I have to have a spreadsheet, and like it's another piece to organize, so just be really careful that, because once again, like if you're using Facebook you're gonna get trapped in the Facebook. Okay? What other types of phone calls could you be making each and every month? Yeah.
I know, like for me, sometimes I get expensive calls where you'll call them and say, hey, you know, we have an event coming up, I just want to make sure information is the same. Or we're going to send out our Ravens calendars, or we're going to have Oreo tickets, or this or that. Come on to the next event, and maybe you could win one. Or
When you have events, when you have, the 1 to 3 in-person events are so easy to make your phone calls on, because who doesn't like to be invited to a party?
Yeah, but what are the events?
We'll get there, hold on. We will get there, I promise you, we will get there, okay? Hey, it's Laura Strunk. Hey, listen, I wanted to make sure that you got the invitation that we mailed out for X, Y, and Z event. Do you think you can make it? I would love to see you. So easy. I'm also leading with what? Gratitude. I'm leading with I'm giving. Okay? And giving them something. Okay? What else could you add? Or what else type of phone calls could you make?
Market report?
Yeah, statistics. I love pulling up RBI, although I think RBI has changed recently. But RBI and saying, hey, it's Laura Strunk, and hey, listen, I was looking at market statistics for real estate, and I realized that in Baltimore County, home sales prices are up 2.5% from this time last year, and a lot of the people that I know have actually been curious about what the value of their home is, and I wanted to see if that would be of value to you. Oh yeah, it might be. Oh really? Are you thinking about making a move? Well, it depends what we could get for our home. Awesome, great. Like, you just never know where the conversation's gonna go. Okay, or inventory's down, and hey listen, my last 3 buyers were in multiple offer situations, and we actually were successful in all 3 places. And I'm calling everybody I know, because you might know someone that's having a hard time buying a home that I could help. You know, statistics are awesome.
I just don't want to call them when the value goes up, you want to call them and say the house is tanked.
Yeah, if the property values are going down, I'm not using that statistic. I'll use other statistics in that case, but I'm not using that statistic. Yeah. What other types of phone calls? And I'll give you mine, trust me. What other ones can you think of? How could you call them throughout the year? What's that? Holidays. Yeah, if you celebrate holidays, I'll tell you, bless you. I do 3 phone calls from November to February to my entire database. Okay? And they work extremely well because 1 is gratitude, 1 is kind of a lovey-dovey, and 1 is my most direct script that I get the most amount of business from. So at Thanksgiving, I call them with the gratitude script, the one that I shared with you before. Hey, it's Laura Strunk with Keller Williams. I'm just calling because I've just really, at this time of year, been thinking about you, and I know you were willing to refer me business, and I just can't tell you how thankful I am that you're willing to do that, you know, in the future for me. So I just wanted to let you know how thankful I am to have you in my life. Then one of my direct mails, I'm giving you one of mine right now, like a lot of you, is a holiday card. I send out a holiday card. Here's the key on the holiday card, though. I had to learn this. Don't send out a generic holiday card. Take a picture of you and your family. What? And send a holiday card with a picture of you and your family. From my family to yours, season greetings or happy holiday. People want to connect to you as a person. They love that card. Okay, they love it. So I send out my holiday card, and then a week later, I call them and I say, hey, it's Laura Strunk, and hopefully you got my holiday card. I just wanted to spend a few minutes and call you and wish you a very happy holiday season. And the number one comment I get is, oh my gosh, Laura, nobody makes these phone calls anymore. Everybody just puts a card in the mail, but nobody actually calls people on the holiday. I said, yeah, it's my favorite time of year. I love connecting with people at this time of year. So I just gave them a gratitude call. I just called them with a holiday call, and then January 1st starts our most direct calls. It can go all the way to February 30th. And the call goes like this. Hi, this is Laura Strunk with Keller Williams. I hope you had a great New Year's, great holiday season. They said, yeah, and I said, you know what? Like a lot of people, I make goals for my business at this time of year, And I found the most powerful way for me to achieve my goals is to share it with as many people as possible. Do you mind if I share it with you today? And they say no. And so well, my team's looking to help 83 people this year buy and sell a home. And I wanted to see, and you actually referred 2 people to us last year, and I'm so thankful for that. I'm willing to see if I can count on you for 3 people this year. Can I get you to commit to 3 referrals this year so I can achieve my goal? Very, very direct, correct? I'm okay asking for that because I just did 2 loves. And there's actually a 3rd love in there, and I'll share when I get to the in-person events, I'll share what that was with them too. I have no problem being that direct because I just gave them a lot of love.
So the first 2, you don't have any ask for referral?
Those 2 calls through the year, I don't count as part of my 6 because I'm not asking for business in those 2 calls. Those are purely my heartfelt calls. And they don't count as my 6, okay? So those 3 calls actually just count as 1 call throughout the year, okay, for our team. Like, that's how we handle it, okay? So yeah, holiday cards, you can even have fun with it. Hey, I'm calling because it's Groundhog's Day. Happy Groundhog Day. Whatever, like, you know, did you see your shadow? I know the groundhog didn't, but what about you? Are you seeing your shadow right now? Like, just have fun with it. Like, you know, you can call for it for the holidays. What other types of calls? So we have holiday calls, you guys got in-person events, market statistics. Think of any other ones. All right, I'll share with you mine in a little bit. We'll get to all of them, don't worry. All right, so the next one on your page is in-person events. Here's my challenge to you. I want you to think of an in-person event that you could have that costs you 0 money.
Bringing them to a Keller Williams event.
Bringing them to a Keller Williams event. Absolutely. I'll tell you a hint right here. If you have people in your database that have anything to do with sales or business, the #1 thing that you can do to get their loyalty is invite them to training here. Anybody can benefit from the one thing, 6 personal perspectives. Okay? The reason I train on 6 personal perspectives is so I can invite my database. Okay, great. Not many people think of that, so really high-minded there. Great job. What other in-person event that could be 0 cost to you?
Inviting some of your kids' games.
I'm sorry, what?
Inviting some of your kids' games.
Invite them to one of your kids' games, sure, absolutely. Yep, connect with the family. Yeah.
Maybe church, have a
Friends and family.
financial wellness, couple hours of giving information away.
Yeah, and does it need to be connected to the church?
No, but that could be where you could have it.
You could. I can tell you, you can also have it here. I'm not speaking out of turn. Your market sampler is available for you to have things like that. And the only reason why I'm saying that is there are some people that want to separate it, or they don't have the same beliefs. You just have to be careful with the church piece.
Okay.
Okay? So, absolutely.
But you could use the people that you know at church, you could let them know,
And bring
invite
them
them here.
Yeah, make sure your church people are in your database. Absolutely.
Right,
Absolutely. No, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Have some sort of informational event that would be of value. Have another service provider train on that. Okay, and I'll give you a few examples of that. Yep.
I do community events in my neighborhood. I'm on the board and neighborhood yard sale once a year. And we're getting ready to do a trip for everybody to go junket, go up to Frederick and go on Antiques Day. And then we do a trash pickup day.
Absolutely. Get organized community
Sell
events.
flowers,
Yeah.
so we all buy bulk flowers and then sell them throughout the community for cheap, so everybody can make their house pretty.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's great. And you can invite your neighbors. Hey, my neighbor is actually selling.
They've all been calling me since we have a community page for our
Yeah.
Facebook thing,
Yeah.
and they've all been calling me, all the professionals. I just had an investor, a guy who manages a bunch of accounts for people, and wants me to come and talk at his group, and I want
Awesome.
to bring him in here so
Yep.
we can.
Great job. Yeah. Any other in-person events that you can think of that cost 0 money? Okay, I will give you both more in-person events at 0 money. I'll give you some that are paid, but how to make it really cheap. So we'll get there, I promise, okay? And then the last one is the direct mail, is that right? Okay, so we talked about them, some of those already. The direct mail, we talked about the handwritten note cards right after every time you talk to them. The holiday card, okay? Once again, if you don't have a ton of money, you have two choices. Either only send the 6 or the note cards after every single phone call. You can get those real cheap. Or find someone like a title company that will, he said he would split marketing costs for Zillow. He'll split marketing costs for mailings to your database. Now you still, per recipe, you have to pay for half. Okay, they cannot pay for it all, but get into a relationship with a lender, a title company, have them split the cost. There will still be a little bit amount of money there, okay? What other things could you, if you were to go above the handwritten notes, what other types of mailings could you send people in the mail? Magnets?
Newsletters.
Newsletters, calendars. So in the newsletter, what would the information be in there?
Stuff about your house or in the home.
Yeah, things that are helpful around your house or in the home. Once again, each has pre-written ones in there that you can use. Okay, calendars. What else could you have in there?
Sports schedules.
Sports schedules.
Just listed or just sold?
Just listed or just sold. Absolutely. Coupons, yeah. Or for what? Yeah. Coupons for anything. That is one of my favorite things, and it's actually, you can use it in all different categories.
How do you get them?
How do you get coupons? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna give you a different method. Okay? Will, you're a landscaper. Hey, Will, my name's Laura Strunk with Keller Williams, and I see that you're a local a local landscaping company in the Pikesville area, correct?
Yes.
Well, listen, I actually have a database of 450 people that I communicate with regularly, and I'm always looking to provide value to them. And I also want to provide value to you as a local business as well. So what I'm hoping is we can create a win-win situation between the two of us. I was wondering if you would be willing to give a discount that's exclusive to my database that I could send to everybody in my database. Won't cost you anything besides honoring the discount. I'll cover the cost of the mailings. I'll be promoting your business to the 450 people that refer me all of my business, and I'll be recommending you as a landscaper. Was that something you'd be willing to do for me?
Yes, I'll raise my prices $25 and I'll give them a discount of $25. Excellent idea. But yes.
Awesome. So get in relationships, landscapers, painters, house cleaners, anybody that sells stuff around the home.
That's right.
This can be used in a mailing. This is one of my favorite phone calls throughout the year. It literally goes, hey, it's Laura Strunk from Forums. I'm calling today because I've actually partnered with a landscaper that's willing to give a 25% discount to all the people in my VIP group that has, agreed to refer me business as a thank you to you. Would this discount be helpful to you? Oh, no, we don't need the land. My husband loves doing it. Oh, great. Well, who do you know that could benefit from the coupon? Well, my mom loves coupons. Oh, yeah? What's her number? So I can call her, and I'm calling her, and then I'm saying, hey, Miss Mary,